Okay, welcome to Bar Z and welcome to Ox Tool.
Howdy.
You all know who this is. This is Mr. Tom Lipton himself. We're going to go through the specifics and everything we did to build that controller over there for the marble saw that Tom's been working on. So let's get into it. We're going to show you how we received the stuff from Marshal Wolf Automation, how it came to us, how we planned our work, and how we executed it. So let's get into the video a little deeper, and we're going to go through everything we needed to do to make this box happen. All right. Hey guys, welcome to Bar Z. My name is Stan, and we're here today with Mr. Tom Lipton.
Hello.
All you can see is our bellies right now, but we're gonna open this box.
Can you tell us apart?
Yeah, I'm farther out of the screen than he is. We're gonna open a box from our friends over at Marshal Wolf Automation, and this is an enclosure for the marble saw.
Marble saw, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, and we're gonna open this up, and this is the box that Tom chose. It's from Saginaw Control and Engineering, and from Marshal Wolf, you can get anything Saginaw makes, even if it's not on their website. Talk to Chris.
Well, I think that was the case on this one. It didn't show on their website, but they got it factory direct, which was
Right,
awesome.
and I got it quick, and Chris over there took real good care of us. If you guys have any technical questions, talk to Chris over at Marshal Wolf. Look him up on the internet. Anyways, let's open this up and get a look at what box you chose. And we got a subplate.
You call that a subplate? I always call that a back panel. So
Back panel, subplate, sub base.
all right, let's set that aside.
Okay, this is where all your components mount.
And that's powder coated steel there. That's
I'd guess
12
that-
gauge or 11 gauge.
Yeah, I guess that to be right in there. And Saginaw.
Thick enough to tap, I guess, is the.
That's right, and that's the key there, is getting components to stick to it. And packaged fairly well. Saginaw always does pack their boxes nicely. You really think we can do this? Okay, here we go. Out of here.
Sweet. That looks like the one.
That's a good looking enclosure. And let's get a screwdriver here.
Oh, these are different. The clamps are a little different. I like those clamps.
It's like a JIC, huh?
Is that what they call it?
And it's lockable. Why don't you take a look at that? And then our cabinet, nice size. Looks like it's either powder coated or industrial baking enamel. Those are the parts to mount your sub base.
Oh, it's got a box ground in there, so that's nice.
Well, that's a jumper to your lid. If you want, if you've
right.
if you've got components in the lid has to be grounded. If you
Oh,
don't,
check this out. Look at this.
they,
It's got a removable, easily removable door.
yeah, that's actually pretty common. Who got those?
I haven't done one of these in a while, so.
Yeah, you can pop a circlip right here, pull the pins, and if you've got machine work to do, cut holes in this, you can take this over on a drill press and do what you need to do. And it goes on and off very easily.
Yeah. NEMA 4. This is a NEMA 12 or a NEMA 4.
Yeah, it's a
right?
NEMA 12 and 4, both.
12
But
and
it's got the nice neoprene gasket and positive locking mechanisms, and it's lockable here.
Well, one of the reasons I picked this particular one is the hole centers match up with the holes that are already on the machine, lengthwise and widthwise.
Nice.
Pretty close, anyway.
Yeah, we've got external lugs here, so we don't have to drill any holes in the cabinet, which is nice. So there's and the way they mount these is they put the round holes up on top, but if you look at the bottom, we're slotted.
Yep.
Which is nice. You can get 2 bolts started in the bottom and just kind of drop it on, and then line up your top ones. So.
Here, lift that up. Let me get this.
Okay. All right, so that's the enclosure Tom has chosen for the marble saw. Let's take a look at a few of the other components.
I'm going to reframe the shot here, so we're looking down at this, and we'll lay out some of the components.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
Okay, so now we've got all the components that need to mount in this in that cabinet. It's very straightforward. All this mounts. We've got to pack all that stuff on this plate, which isn't too hard to do.
This transformer is monstrous, yeah.
Yeah, it's got some headroom, so we're good with that. We've got a motor starter, which what makes a motor starter a motor starter? This is a contactor. When you install this on this, that turns this into a motor starter. So this offers opening and closing and offers running protection. We've got a panel disconnect with a connector rod. So this goes on the cover, this goes down inside the cabinet.
Oh, and that goes in there?
That goes down inside the cabinet, yeah, absolutely.
And this, I'm messing you up, I'm sorry.
No, this,
What's that, Stan?
it's a triple set of fuses.
Why do they have that little tit on the end of them?
Those are fuse rejection, so you can't put them in upside down.
I bet you I could put them in upside down.
You probably could jam them in there, Tom. But also it keeps you from putting the wrong type of fuse in there. So.
Oh, yeah, that would be important, right? And
right.
these are time delay, right? Is that correct?
They're dual element time delay, so they are motor rated.
Right, okay. So they handle the inrush, right? And they don't pop, even if you're, right? Is that, do I got it right?
Look at you. I'm proud of you.
Goody. I'm so happy.
Yep.
Dad's proud of me.
So that's a pretty neat fuse setup. On the pull-out tray, the fuses become safe when you pull them out. They disconnect top and bottom when you pull out the tray, and it mounts right to the main disconnect.
Yeah, this thing's pretty cool actually. And you know, who hasn't struggled trying to pull a damn fuse out? But you just roll these out, and then you can slide them out of the holders, so it strips them out of the clamps.
And what's the manufacturer on this? Kato, K-A-T-K-O.
Yeah, and that's from Marshal Wolf too. So
Yeah, all this stuff is from Marshal Wolf Automation. So they've been kind enough to provide us with this all the components.
This is awesome. This is awesome.
For our marble saw, or for Tom's marble saw. And you're going to donate that to the next summer bash, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll bring it down.
When pigs fly out of my butt.
I'm just going to leave that one alone, all right?
Okay. Transformer, terminal strip. We've got a little bit of den rail to mount our components on. All we need to do is get this laid out. Now Tom's given us and started with a preliminary wiring diagram. And I'll hold that there long enough for you to take a good look at and pause the camera if you like, if you want to find any discrepancies in that.
Nor's chicken sketch.
No,
Actually, Stan looked at it and he thought it was pretty good.
It actually is pretty good.
It made me feel good because this is not my normal stuff. So.
Well, I mean, a lot of times there's a lot of little things that you do, and that they're doing here is, and this is a good point. Why do we ground out the neutral on the secondary of a transformer? And that's a question I get a lot of times that people say, hey, why is it so important to phase out my neutral?
Can I do this one?
You can, because you know.
I do know. Because there's no direct wiring connection through the transformer. It's just magnetics, right? So what you need is a physical grounding to ground the low voltage side of the control power, correct?
Yes.
Sort of. Okay,
Yeah.
fill in the blanks here.
Well, what it is like you said, there's no, it's just a magnetic field. If we split this in half from the primary to the secondary, on the secondary side, this transformer doesn't know which one to make neutral.
That's right.
So we're phasing it out and we're grounding our neutral side. That way we don't end up with a hot neutral running around.
Well, we actually have grounds on either side of this, right?
Well, the case is grounded, obviously,
Yeah.
and but we do need to ground out the actual neutral side. Otherwise, you end up with a hot neutral.
Yeah.
And there's another phenomenon known as phase shift that happens when you start running little incandescent light bulbs and things like that. If you don't ground that neutral, it's sitting there alternating, trying to find one. So you get flickering bulbs, chattering contactors. There's all kinds of funny little ghosts in the machine that can happen if you don't phase out your neutral. Okay. Well, let's get into mounting some components. What do you think?
Yep.
All right. Sounds good. You didn't turn you into a construction worker yet. Drilling on the floor, foot on the part.
God.
Batteries,
And that
Oh,
slug.
that's sweet. Look at that. Knocked the slug right out of that sucker.
Yeah, I heard it hit
Wink.
right there.
Cool. I do like that.
And it does make a quality little hole.
It did, yeah. That's pretty good.
Yeah. All right, so what we've got is we've got our main disconnect mounted, and a lot of people are going to ask, how do you align that switch there with your cover here? Well, we do it right off the edge of the box, come into the rod. In this case, it was 3" by 3". And I can't tell you how bad this wiggle right here irritated Tom.
Yeah, I was freaking
out. But we've got wiggle room.
Where's the center of that?
Well, that's the trouble, and you know,
need to go down to there.
we've got an inlet cone here that helps guide it in. Remember, you're working off of an axis of a hinged door, so that throws another arc into the equation.
I'm telling you, we could have just put this up on the mill
And just done it. We took care of it. The next thing is we've got wiggle room this way on our den rail.
Yeah, did you see that?
Yeah.
We go back and forth on the rail.
Nice. And then that's going to help us with our alignment here.
So what's the cool way to figure out that rod length?
Right, and the rod length's next. And this is our operating handle that has to bolt to the cover, and we don't want to engage it too hard and just jam it all the way up in that switch handle, and we don't want it shallow either, or it won't operate. So what do? Insert your rod, and then bring your operating knob down till it clicks.
Is that?
You're all the way down. You're all the way down here, and we're real close to fitting there, but we've got a little bit of gap. So all we're going to do is measure there.
So it's about 3/16.
Okay, so let's add maybe 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 inch to that.
Okay.
And then we're going to take that much off the rod, and when I pull this out, we're probably going to get the rod with it. We're just going to lob that off the raw end of the rod. I can probably show you the back of this thing. Well, we drilled a 22 millimeter hole, which is roughly the equivalent of 7/8. And there's your fit right there on the back side. So very little wiggle room there, but we do have wiggle room with the switch, so we can move that around.
All right, let me.
And they do have a neoprene gasket on there, so it'll seal itself on the way in. So actually, you're not breaking the listing of the panel with this switch.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a
Yeah,
good point.
it's got a little.
Yeah, anytime you penetrate one of these boxes, if you ruin the integrity of it, it derates the box, right?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
You
Okay,
don't do it properly, I should say. So,
I'm done breaking stuff. You ready to actually build something?
Let's drill. Let's drill.
Okay.
Suboptimal center punching. What's that one? 4 millimeters. Like that, right?
I believe so.
Sweet little brass screws, or copper colored screws anyway. Probably steel. Alright. Okay.
All right, well, we got everything mounted. We got transformer mounted. It's actually through bolted. Those have been drilled and tapped, and the bolts run in from the backside into the threaded holes, so they're pinned in. So if the transformer ever has to be changed, undo some nuts, pull it, and go. So they act kind of like studs.
Yeah.
That's right. So we've got studs with nuts.
Okay,
I'm not even gonna go
that's
there.
enough on the transformer mounting. Move on.
Well, we were talking about trannies, so I had to talk about studs with nuts. Okay, we've got a small pin rail mounted.
A what?
Pin rail.
Pin rail? Is that what you call that?
Well, I call it a terminal strip, but
Oh, okay.
this is just a terminal strip. But a pin rail would be the type that snaps onto a
Oh, where you just plug the wires into it, right?
right,
Yeah,
that,
okay.
that snaps onto a
That one's actually a screw terminal strip.
right. It's just
Old school.
that's just a habit of mine to call them that. We got our motor starter mounted, and we've got our disconnect and fuse block mounted.
Not much there.
Nope, not a whole lot there. We're going to do what wiring we can to this before it goes into going to the cabinet. You know,
Yeah.
you don't want to make life difficult for yourself, so do as much
Right.
easy stuff now as we can, and we'll go from there.
All right, I'm gonna drag out some wire and we'll do some wiring.
Very good. Okay, so it's just as a temporary measure, we got the sub base done, but we wanted to hook it up to the control. In other words, everything on the machine, everything remote to the unit. And we're going to take you back there and show you what we did over on the floor here in a second. We've got it hooked up to this control. We chased all the wires, and we wanted to check functionality between here and there. And there's our result. We've got a run light. We're running a motor. We've got the gearbox disengaged. We're not spinning any of the mechanism, but we have a motor up and running. And we've got a trip switch, which is right here on the side, which drops out our run command. And we've got push button e-stop here. Same thing, drops out our run command. So we know we're functional as far as control goes, and we're ready to mount the sub base in the cabinet and finalize everything. But we wanted to check the machine as well as our work within the panel.
And the light works.
Tom was really excited that when I go like this, that little red light came on.
It lives.
That was the most exciting.
It's the heartbeat, man.
You know, when we first fired up, the bulb was burned out. He handed me this box. He couldn't get it. It must have been in his toolbox. Exactly where you knew it was.
That bulb has, from the time it was put in that box, it's waiting to go on this machine.
I know, and that's probably the first thing you ordered when this thing got to hit the door.
Well, no, when I fixed this cover, I saw that bulb with smoke, so I said, oh, I better order those.
We gotta have a light. We just gotta have a light. All right, so we've checked the control. Let's take you back and show you what we did in the back to temporarily hook up and just before final assembly. All right, we'll bring you back here in a minute. Okay, so here's our temporary setup. We've just got a SO cord brought over. We're powering up on top here, providing primary power to our transformer, secondary power out, going to our terminal strip. Our terminal strip is there. This is going out to the machine with all the corresponding wire numbers. And this is what we tested with. So this sub base is done and wired, and it's ready to go into that cabinet.
Yep.
So we've done all our rough work, and we're ready to finalize this thing. And what do you think, Tom? I think we got this put together pretty quick.
Yeah, that was nicely done. So it was a few hours, and Stan's pretty awesome here. And he's just flying into this stuff, and I'm scratching my ear a little bit and learning something from him. So it's been good for me too. So I'm happy to do the finalization of all this and pulling those last couple of little wires and all that.
Awesome.
And finishing it up and mounting the box and doing all that. So no problem there. This is awesome. The saw lives, and we'll be sawing real soon.
Okay, so we've got our sub base all wired and put together here. I'm going to kind of show it. Well, I'm going to show it to the camera a little bit. We've done as much wiring as we can right within here, and we've already tested it over on the machine, and all the field connections come in over here. Now we're just ready to drop it in the box.
Drop her in there.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, I think we're good. Here we go.
Sweet. Look at that.
We're on the studs, and now you can appreciate everything that we did out of the box, because we'd have to be doing that down in the box, which is redonkulous.
Redonkulous?
Redonkulous.
Oh, that's
so
I just learned a new word. So.
awesome. All right. So all we got left to do is bolt in the sub base, put in our disconnect rod. Yep. This thing's done. Okay, guys. Thanks for watching. Okay, and that's pretty much everything it took to get a controller on there. This was a pretty simple control. It was easier with good supplies. I was real happy with the stuff that came from Marshal Wolf. If you guys haven't checked them out, go check out their website. It's new and improved. They are constantly working on it. We're probably not the easiest customers to deal with.
Well, I'll tell you, you know, I don't consider myself an electrical whiz, but I was able to navigate through all that stuff myself and sort it out pretty well. It was pretty easy to use. And like you said, it changed as I was using it over the period of a couple weeks or whatever that I was playing around with it.
Right.
They did make some improvements to it. So
And they're still doing it. And you know, just because you don't find what they have on the website, the box we used wasn't a catalog model for them. It was a very nice Saginaw box. And you know, if you already know what you want, you can contact them and say, hey, I got a part number. They're going to get you what you need, even if it's not on their website. So special thanks to Marshal Wolf Automation for putting all this together for us.
thank you. Yeah.
Yep. And you know, this is the next step in the saw. Tom got to see his saw run for the very first
Yeah,
time.
no, I'm stoked.
For the first time today, you know, that little red light lit up, and he's pretty happy about that.
Yeah, the red light in here lit up too. So
Okay. Well, we know a few things now. We know the motor runs, you know, and we know the controls work. The switches are good. The bulb sockets are good. Everything's functional electrically. And now we've got new controls, and it should last you quite a few years.
yeah, I'm looking forward to using the heck out of it. You guys will get to see the as that saw comes online. I got a little bit more work to do to put it into service, and we're going to do some serious cutting with that thing. So it'll be fun.
And after you're done with that, you're donating it to Bar Z, right?
Yeah, it's actually going in my will to Stan. So that's the kind of the conditions here, and he kind of insisted on that. So.
Okay, Tom's last will and testament. I got.
You got it on
There's
tape.
a lot of witnesses out there that saw this, so I get that saw. In case you should fall off the loading dock on your way out to walk me out to my truck or anything.
Yeah.
Anything could happen
Anything
between
could
here
happen,
and
that's
between then and now. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and again, thanks to Marshal Wolf.
All right.
We'll catch you on the next one.
See you later.